Grace and blessings, fellow servants of the Most High. I am Brother Zephaniah, coming today to talk about something very important. Have you ever heard of a little white lie? Is there a difference between a lie and a little white lie? What does the Bible teach us about liars, and what will be the punishment for those who choose to lie? Before we get into it, I want to provide one quick definition. In the Bible, you will read the term false witness a lot. I think it is important to understand what that term means. A false witness is a person who intentionally tells a lie against another person, an event, or a thing. Hopefully this is helpful. Now let's get to the lesson.
Thank you, brother, for the intro. Most of us are familiar with the 10 Commandments, right? Okay. And you know they were written with the finger of God on 2 tables of stone. They must be pretty important if God used his finger to write them for us. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20 and read verse 16.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 16. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Thanks to the definition our brother just read. Now we know that the Lord is telling us not to lie on our neighbor. What can happen if we lie on our neighbor? They can get in trouble. They can get hurt or even die based on a lie. Now, let's see how the Lord feels about lying. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 6. Picking it up at verse 16, we are going to read 16 through 19.
Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 through 19. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren.
Did you hear that? Out of 6 things that the Lord hates, and 7 abominations, lying is mentioned twice out of the 7. A lying tongue and a false witness that speaketh lies. Do you want to be something that the Lord hates? Or do you want to show the Lord that you love him? How do we show the Lord that we love him? Let's go to John chapter 14 and verse 15. Let's read what Jesus had to say.
John chapter 14 and verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
Wow. To show the Lord that we love him, he says we have to keep his commandments. Let's read something else about the commandments. Let's go to 1 John chapter 2 and verse 4.
John chapter 2 and verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
The Lord keeps mentioning the commandments, and we read the 9th commandment earlier. Now, let's go back and read all 10 commandments to make sure we understand them. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20 and pick it up at verse 3.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 3. The first commandment, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Verses 4 through 6. The second commandment, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. Verse 7. The 3rd commandment, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Verses 8 through 11. The 4th commandment, remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor, and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and hallowed it. Verse 12. The 5th commandment, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Verse 13, the sixth commandment, thou shalt not kill. Verse 14, the seventh commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery. Verse 15, the eighth commandment, thou shalt not steal. Verse 16, the ninth commandment, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And verse 17, the 10th commandment, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
Those are the 10 commandments. In another video, we can discuss and break down each one. But for now, let's get back to the liars. Let's go to John chapter 8 and verse 44.
John chapter 8 verse 44 says, Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Wow. Now we see that the devil is the father of lies. And if you are a liar, you are a follower of the devil, and he is considered your father. This can't be a good thing. You can't be a follower of Christ and Satan. Now, let's go to Revelations chapter 22, and we're going to read verses 14 and 15.
Revelations chapter 22 verses 14 and 15. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth, and maketh a lie.
It just keeps getting worse and worse. Again, we see that liars can't have access to Jesus, who is the tree of life. Also, you cannot get into the kingdom, which is through the gates, into the city. Okay? We are going to one more spot, and this is where you should go when people trying to make it seem as if it is okay to tell a little white lie. Let's go to Revelations chapter 21, verses 5 through 8.
Revelations chapter 21 verses 5 through 8. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars, shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
There you have it. You have read it for yourself. All liars shall have their part in the lake, which burneth with fire and brimstone. That's the lesson. Liar, liar, lake of fire. Hopefully, this will help you navigate this world, where we are taught that it's okay to lie from time to time.
Family, I hope this lesson has given you the tools to stand strong against the evils of this world. People make a bunch of excuses and try to provide reasoning for lying, but the Bible doesn't support it. If you are keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, there is no reason for a lie. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. This is your brother, Zephaniah, signing off. Peace.